Welcome to the channel, folks. Clunkers and Classics, where we're going down the home stretch. I'm doing everything I'm gonna do to the interior and mechanically. It's not 100%, but it's pretty close. The only thing mechanically I'll need is a little brackets for the emergency brake cables. Got new emergency brake cables in there, but there's no brackets. I don't know if anybody sells them. I tried looking a little bit. They're zip tied out of the way for now. I want to take this for a test drive real quick. It'll be in this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it today or tomorrow. So we'll go over. So that's about it mechanically. Okay, I've been depressed the last few videos because this thing, I've been putting in more than I think. More than I think, because it's not going to be worth that much. Like I said, these cars are only worth a lot of money if they're low mileage, one owner, garage kept. Other than that, you know, and down south here, they all need interiors. The sun just bakes them to shit. So, yeah, and the local wrecking yard close to me doesn't have any of these. I was just there the other day when I got that windshield, and he's like, no, we don't have any of them. Am I going to drive around hours out of the way to look for seats or headliner? No, I'm not going to, because 99% of the time they're going to be shot. And you can't call ahead and say, is the headliner any good? Well, he's not going to go look. I know somebody up near Puddin's honey hole thing there. He's got a bunch of these. They're stacked on top of each other. I could probably find everything I need there, but I tried contacting him one time, and the GPS says, he says the GPS don't take you there. He's gonna meet you somewhere. He only works Saturdays, all this shit. And it's about 2 hours away. And I said, no, I'm not gonna bother, you know. So that's the only place I know of that's got some of these. Okay, so I just took the headliner out, left it out, threw it in the trash can. I'm not gonna buy a new one. You can get a new one, plastic one, for over 300 bucks, 300 to 400 bucks delivered. Some guy posted, oh, Rock Auto, 150 bucks. Yeah, 150 plus 160 something to ship it. It's like 322. So guys, whenever you mention something, make sure you put in shipping, because obviously this headliner will be oversized, one piece plastic. Okay, so now we'll go over the seat covers real quick. I got 3 of them. People they can't remember, or I can't remember either. Okay, this is what came with the car. 3 of them. Don't know where the 4th is. Don't know how to contact the guy I bought it from. Okay, that's a back. That's a bottom. That's a bottom. So I'm missing one back. Now, if I just put in one side, it'll look stupid. If I do the driver's side, you got to think that these are different patterns than these. So it's not like you can put one on and then paint the other one and then match. They're not going to match. See, there's different patterns. So it would look stupid with one doing it. It'll look even more stupider doing one and then the bottom of the other and leaving the top. It would just look dumb to me anyway. Now, if I was to keep the car, which I'm very well may, I'd do it in black. Because, okay, so we'll go back to these seat covers. People say, oh, we'll just buy one. Well, you can't buy just one, or you can't just buy enough for one seat. These are like 500 bucks for the set. You can't just buy one for one seat or one backing for the other seat. You got to buy them by the set. Now, it'll say, well, who's the maker? Get a hold of them. No, there's nothing. I don't have the box they came in or nothing. There's these numbers here. If anybody wants to check, 179020008. And this one's for 1790 something 004. Okay, that's the bottom. 179020008. Now, if you can find the manufacturer that uses them numbers for their product, great. Get a hold of them, see if they'll send me one. But there's 99.9% chance they're not gonna sell you just one. You gotta buy the whole set. Okay, now like I said, if it was up to me and I have to buy another set of 4, I'd buy black. So that's why I'm not even gonna put 1 in or 1.5 in. Same with the door panels. I just do everything black. Now the carpet I burnt, so well, the carpet's not that great. Presentable, but not that great. But the value of these cars is not very much. Well, I can see this is peeling now. That spray glue's not very good. I have to keep sticking it back there. These cars just is not worth putting a ton of money into it. I always build cars so I can make money on them. They gotta be worth more than I put into them, or else there's no use building them. So yeah, it would take a couple of grand more. It would take new carpet, new seat covers, headliner, door panels. Probably get away with painting them. Could paint them black. As far as these, I don't even have the trim codes for this car. It's missing. So what color red is it? I could probably find, you know, the color online for whatever they used in '85. But it wouldn't match. You'd pretty much have to paint everything red. And if I'm gonna do that, I'll paint it all black. Then I'd have to recover the rear seat. So yeah, you're looking at several $1,000s to finish off the interior. Mechanically, like I said, it's pretty much done, but it needs new tires. These tires are weather cracked or worn, or they're not very good. So you're looking at, you know, $600 to $800 for new tires. Other than that, I don't know, probably have to be sent in for front end alignment, since we put in the taller springs and stuff like that on the front end. But other than that, I don't think, well, the AC, now the AC system, I didn't put nothing in. I got a condenser from a V6, don't know if it'll work, but it's going to need a condenser, an AC compressor, hoses from the evaporator all the way around to the driver's side compressor. That stuff I could probably get used, but you're going to go through that much trouble, you might as well get new stuff. So just like a compressor, don't ever buy a used compressor. It'll leak, guaranteed it'll leak. Compressors are not that much. They weren't anyway. I bought a few new ones for $100 bucks or so off eBay, but then again, they're cheap. Probably who knows how long they'll last. So anyway, you're looking at a lot of time and money getting the AC working. So with that, with the tires, with the interior, it's several $1,000s, guys, and I'm not putting it in this. It's just not worth it. You know, some people say, well, just I would have given up on that car a long time ago, and yeah, but what am I going to do with it? I got a couple of grand into it. Now what? Just park it and leave it unfinished? The paint and body, some, oh, put it in primer and sell it. Well, if, you know, put it in primer, I might as well paint it. I mean, the paint, I bought the paint. I showed it on the last video. I'll show it on this one later. $135 shipped for red acrylic enamel. Probably much like the truck. I forget what it was called, Victory Red. And 150 bucks, and then some primer and materials, you know. So $250, $300 for everything. I'm willing to spend that to paint it and make it look decent. Then I'll sell it if I wanted to sell it. And I could get, I don't know, $5 or $6 grand for it. But to put another $3,000 into it for the interior and everything, that would mean I'd have to get 8 or 9 for it, and I wouldn't get it. See, so that's why it's not worth putting another few grand into it. So I don't know what I had into it last episode. I said 2,700 and I minus, oh no, then I had to add the emergency brakes, 28. It's gonna be around 3,200, 3,300 I'll have into this, and it'll be painted up. So yeah, I could get 5 grand for it. I could, you know, I could make 2 grand on it for my labor or whatever. But for 5 grand, I'll probably keep it. And who knows, I might come across another parts car with all the stuff I want. Or later on, I might come up with some nice tires that I could put on. And I'll just park it with the rest of these. At least it'll be running, driving, stopping, and not looking like a lawn ornament, just sitting there rotting away. At least it'll start up and run, drive. So that's where we're at, guys. So this video is going to be the bodywork. The views on this car is just way down, guys. I mean, it was it doesn't matter, because like I said, I don't do this for YouTube views or YouTube money. I do for what I feel is a car worth fixing, and I come across this. I didn't go out looking for it to buy it. Very first video I went over it. It landed in my lap, sat here for years. I got to do something with it. It's either, and I didn't want to part it out because it's too nice to part out, and I already had an engine transmission. So yeah, I went a little bit overboard at the beginning, guys, because I bought the headers. Didn't have to, but it was missing the exhaust, missing the manifolds. Take special manifolds just for Camaro, so I couldn't grab something off what I had. So, you know, I bought the headers, and then I bought the pipe kit for it. Then no radiator, same thing, just Camaro radiators fitted. So I went ahead and spent a little bit more and bought the aluminum one. You know, I could have got a cheap one for 68 bucks or something, and then put a fan on the engine and be done with it. But I spent 170 something, put in the big aluminum radiator with dual electric fans. So at the beginning, I did spend a few hundred more, probably 300 or 400 more. Right off the bat, which I didn't have to, but I figured, well, let's build it, you know, decent. So anyway, that's where we're at, and that's why I got a little bit more money into it than I wanted to, and why I would have to spend more money on it to make it perfect or whatever. Okay, so a couple of $100 to paint it. Not too bad, guys. It's going to look completely different. It's going to, transformation is just going to be, you know, oh, I spent, you know, 150 bucks maybe on the decals and the stripes, decals. So yeah, after it's painted with them decals and emblems on there, man, it's going to look sharp. So it's well worth it, and it's going to add several $1,000s to the value of it, because, you know, could probably only get 3 grand when I got into it. The way it sits, it just looks so friggin' ugly to me anyway. But painted, it's just gonna night and day difference. You'll see shortly. So anyway, the views have gone way down on this. They usually go up when I paint it a little bit. It goes up a little bit when I do the body work. So I'm just sorry about the rambling before we get started on the body work. I'm gonna try to make one video of the body work, because there ain't that much, and then one video of it being painted. I'll then probably one at the end of after it all dries, and I put the decals on and put it all back together. Well, there ain't much to put together. I've been putting shit together on it already. But yeah, the views overall, I know that you guys that watch it really like it, but it's, you know, 4,000 views, 4,000 views average probably per video on this, and it's compared to probably 8,000 on the red Silverado. Then I just, you know, and I just bought the 69 van. Well, first video, 25,000 views in a couple of days. So if I was a YouTuber doing it to make money, that thing would be in a shit pile like most of them YouTubers do. Be in the back 40 over on Rusty Acres, and I'd be working on that. But of course the views will go down on that. Now at this point, you guys have already seen, I haven't posted them yet. They're scheduled, so I do 2 videos a week. So there are 2 videos of this that you've already seen, but at this moment they're not on that I'm talking about it. So I don't know what the views are going to be. They're definitely going to go down from 25,000, but I bet they probably equal with the Silverado. They'll probably get 8,000 a video compared to 4,000 for this. So anyway, like I said, I don't do it for that. I stick to my guns. We got to finish it. It's a little depressing, like I said, when it caught fire and stuff just, you know, it was lowered, and you know, that stuff I didn't count on. I didn't really realize it was lowered that much, and it was going to drive like complete garbage, scraping the ground on every little bump. So that's all fixed. So, you know, the work and the money involved in doing that, it just compounded on getting depressed on working on it. Okay, but and the windshield, you know, have a perfectly good windshield, got it all out, lifting it out, and it cracks from the parts car. So I had to spend another $100 and something bucks on a new windshield. So one after another setbacks, carburetor, all that stuff. But it's all fixed now. Just need body and paint. Okay, so let's go over the body and paint. Now, I'm assuming, I got this from body shops. The title is in the body shop's name. They put it in their name 2003, I think. So over 20 years ago. So I'm assuming that it was a customer's car that came in for body work and paint, and they just didn't pay for it. And it just, body shop, who knows how long it sat, and they put it in their name, and they sold it to an employee. And that's who I bought it from, was an employee of the body shop. He might have told me what the deal was, but I can't remember. It's been 4 or 5 years. Okay, so and this is why I don't paint with clear coat, guys. See, it's just from sitting out. It must sat outside in the sun and just baked it all off. That's why I like the single stage enamel. That's what we're painting it with. So, did they do any body work? Well, we don't know. We don't know what kind of condition this was in, other than I believe that's a brand new cowl hood they put on there from the paint. Do I have the hood open? From the paint job underneath. You know, I showed it. See, so they painted it this, I'm assuming that's what the whole car looked like, see? This nice maroon metallic paint job. And they painted the jambs and everything. But the original color was this red. You can see the red here. You can see the red here when I took off the radiator support, and then there's the maroon. But they did the door jambs in this maroon. So we're just going back red because maroon's way more expensive than a plain red non-metallic. So that's what color we're going, and that's the reason why we're going. And now the only Bondo I could see in the car is this here. You can see the Bondo cracking. a little bit of rust there, and it's all checkered from here all the way, the whole bottom of the fender. So it must have been smacked in. They straightened it out. Doesn't look like very much Bondo, but they must have, I don't know what they bondoed over. Bondoed over rust or something. Okay, see, it's all lifting there. So we have to grind this out. We're going to take this marker light out. Oh, that's already loose. See, that's already loose. We'll just set that back a little bit and just grind and paint down to here. We're not going to bother. We're not taking the whole car apart. We're not doing a concourse restoration where we take off all the bumpers, all the ground effects, all mirrors. We're not taking nothing off. So we're just going to grind that down right to the metal. Okay, we'll do that first. Now there is some dents. There's a dent here, little ding there, and I can't tell very good because of this paint's all so rough, peeling off. You can't tell if there's any waves or anything in it. That's paint's a little different there. That might be a little Bondo under there. Okay, so with the rest of this, we're just going to take a DA sander, and I got to strip her down. You can see here where it's down to the metal. The metal, it baked off the clear, and that's the base coat, and it's baking that off, and it being rained on and everything, it's starting to rust. So that all has to go to the metal. So we're going to take this down to 80. Now once we take it down, then we'll be able to see if there's any old Bondo, any dents. Right now, you can't really feel any, but you know, what is this car now? 40, 25, yeah, 40 years old, 39 years old. Who knows what its life is? It could have been, had body work done a bunch of times. Door dings, there's a little cracked Bondo there. That was probably a door ding that was fixed. All that has come down the metal. Basically, if there's any old Bondo in here, we're taking it out and we're starting over. But at first glance, it doesn't look bad at all. It doesn't look like it'll take any time at all. Again, here's all the going down to the metal. So we're going to sand all that down with 80 grit down to the metal and prime it after the body work. This I noticed the other day. I didn't even realize it, but it's, I guess it was hit. There's a scrape there. Somebody, after it was painted, somebody bumped into it at the body shop. It's pooched out right here. So we just pretty much just tap this outie here, and this should pop back into place. I'm gonna put a little skim of Bondo. Other than that, guys, I think that's all the Bondo work I can see. All this has to be stripped down the metal, or it's down to the plastic. It's going to be just about impossible to keep these cracks from coming through at some point, unless you buy some real expensive primer and coat it and all that, and we're not doing that. We're going to take it, we're going to DA all this down to the plastic, prime it, regular primer, and that's it. If it comes through in a couple years, oh well. This little thing here, it's busted. We're gonna have to heat that up, push it back in, and you can buy the two-part epoxy stuff for repairing plastic. I don't have any, but JB Weld works just as good. So we'll grind the edges down a little bit, heat it up, push that back in, put some JB Weld around it, sand it down, and that'll be good. Another little, I don't know, there's Bondo or something there. As far as the jams and everything, see, this is all, I had to do that when I welded in that brace. I'd rather not paint the jams. It's going to be just a lot of extra time and everything. They're not that bad except for a few little spots here and there. But like I said, again, it's that maroon. It's not the red. So when I paint it red, this is going to look. And to do it right, you'd take off all the door panels and weather stripping. We're not taking nothing off. We're not taking anything off. So we'll probably just clean it up and leave it. And that, you know. But there's some rust right here. We may grind that out and treat it. And then we'll have to spot a little red in there. This is kind of peeling. They didn't sand it very good or something. I think that's what all this is. It's just the paint's peeling and it started to rust. It's not rusted through or nothing. So we'll probably take care of that. And spray a little red here. But we're not going to go overboard with it. We're not even going to take out the tail lights. So, you know, you would think this would have been slick coming out of the body shop. They would have fixed all the dings and dents, which I believe they probably did. So that's why there's really not that much body work. I mean, it would be, you would assume they fix everything. This is all paints, all bubbling here. We'll take that down the metal. Don't know what that is. That looks like somebody hit it or something, tire mark or something. But yeah, it feels good. It feels like there's no door dings or nothing in it. It's really just them spots, guys. Now, as far as the hood, my helpers had this on and off. We'll just have to sand this down a little bit. We're not going to go overboard and build it up with fiberglass or nothing. We're just going to sand the edges smooth. I think it's just that spot. Oh, well, this one's a little bit. And then this, I was kind of wondering why it had a indentation there, and then I thought, well, it's the wiper was hitting it. See, it's even with the fender. So we'll have to sand that a little bit. And I think there was a crack in this. I thought I seen a crack. Maybe not. I don't know. Oh, right in here. See these stress cracks? We're probably not going to do nothing with that. We're probably just going to sand it down and that actually looks like some primer or something on there. But yeah, that would probably just be from the factory if this car was, if this hood was brand new at the body shop. Yeah, there's probably a little bit there. We're just going to sand her smooth, prime it, block it, and paint it. We're not going to be bothering grinding all them stress cracks out and putting in special epoxy and special primer and all that stuff for a few spots where it's not worth it. Front will have to be all sanded down too, just like the back. That's one thing I forgot to order. I think I need to order one of these new. I don't think they're that much, but you never know. Okay, guys, well that's the body work and the sanding and everything that I'm gonna do. So I'll get started and I'll show you some of the process. But other than that, pretty much all of it's gonna have to be primed down. Once you get down to the metal sanding, all this stuff like this, it's gonna be pretty much primering the whole car. Probably, you know, from here up anyway. Maybe not down at the bottom, but so yeah, we'll be doing that. And then okay, well, that's a lot of rambling, but like I said, I just went over where we're at now, what we're gonna do to it. What we're gonna do on this video is get all this and have it in primer. The next video we'll sand it and paint it. Sand it, mask it, paint it. Okay, so I'll be back, show you some stuff. Okay guys, got the grinder. We grind all this up. as you can see, it's a skim of Bondo they put over there. So I'm just going to grind all that out. And let me just do that and I'll be back. Okay guys, I had it all ground out. Old 20-year-old Bondo. And then I used my little die grinder there to get the little areas I couldn't get with the big grinder. So yeah, I think we're just gonna skim that back over with some Bondo. I think probably what happened was that it got hit again in the parking lot or whatever at the body shop, and it started cracking, and little water got in there with rust, and it's about all I could think of. It's got a lot of layer of paints on it. Looks like red primer, red primer, red. Now, I've been painted a couple times. Okay, so I'm going to use my electric DA sander with 80 grit, and we're going to go over all these areas here. Oh, I forgot to plug it in. Plug it in. Okay, we're pretty much going to go over the whole car like this, but I'll show you on this area. It doesn't necessarily have to go down the metal. The only, well, most of it's going to be. See these little paint cracks here, some rust underneath here and here. Yeah, that's all going to have to be down to the metal, but areas like this really doesn't have to, as long as you get her smooth. Just run that DA over it. And this was one dent right here I hit with the grinder. So. More Bondo there. Take all that out. I think this hood, we're just going to go over it with 180. There's going to be no rust or nothing under there. There's no reason to try to sand all the paint and crap off of it, like the metal areas. So yeah, we'll take that out with the little die grinder. We'll redo a little Bondo there on this dent, and just keep sanding all this down and get down to the metal on these spots. Like I said, here, oh, there's another dent right there. Okay, let me do sanding on this fender and I'll be back. Let's go over to this quarter here. It's the only other major body work. Well, it's not major, but yeah, you can feel the crease right here. So we're just going to take a body hammer and see if we can get it so the top area pops out. There's a body line right here, so we're going to have to, we can get at this. This is where the spare tire goes on the inside. We can get at it from the inside to bang it out, but this all has to be pushed in anyway. it's going in there. A little bit more here. There are some bubbles and stuff right here. I don't know if you can see it, but that's old body filler or something there. Coming up pretty good. Well, actually, those are bubbles, just like that. That was from the fire, from the heat. And yeah, that's probably what that's from too. I don't think the dent's from there because it's got a scrape along here. Anyway, that's pretty close. Well, let's keep doing a little more tapping around here, and then we'll grind this whole area out and do some Bondo work there. But anyway, yeah, you just tap it. If it doesn't come out, you can tap from the inside and get a dolly and work it out. But yeah, you just need to keep tapping around there. I know you can't even probably see the dent, but on camera. Okay, well, I'm going to take my DA and start sanding this area here. And yeah, we'll grind out that quarter here in a little bit, and then get some Bondo ready, spread some Bondo here and there. Okay, I'll be back. Guys, I'll show you a little bit of grinding here. I got Bondo here too. So okay, kind of hard to do it with one hand, but it looks like a skim of Bondo in here. It feels flat, but feel bubbles here. I'm not going to take that off. We're just going to go down to here. So let me grind all that out. This here looks okay. We'll just DA that with a 80 grit. Okay, so I got this kind of smooth. They got some body filler or spot putty in here. They were right in there and there. It's flat. They were just probably filling some pinholes or something. See, the paint was really light up here where they had stripped that, whereas that all that other paint where we counted about 5 or 6 layers that hadn't been touched. But they probably did what I did, like this, and then found a couple pinhole or chips or something, and just put some putty there and blocked it and primed it instead of going all the way down to the metal, which is what I'm doing, because so you can see some of the old paint. We'll sand that a little bit more. But anyway, basically, yeah, we're just gonna go like that over the whole car and make sure it's straight. You can tell here where they sanded down some chips in the mirror before they painted it, and all the paint's baked off, but and that's probably all what this stuff is too. This probably has to go down. Yeah, the paint is just baking that base coat. Be a lot of DA and sanding, but anyway, let me grind this out and we'll get some Bondo ready. Do that area and this area here. So I'll be back. How you doing, Nikki? You doing okay? How's my girl doing? How's my girl doing? Do you want a belly rub? You want a belly rub? Poor old hound dog. My poor old hound dog. There you go. Poor old hound dog. Good girl. Nikki's a good girl. Okay. I got what it was a dent right there. They put a hole and pulled it. Still a dent there. Anyway, that's what that Bondo was. So we got some 80 grit on the DA, and we're see how thick this is on top. You can see that first layer comes off pretty easily. What we're worried about, see, that's what's all doing this. So the first layer, see, there's a little Bondo or spot putty right there. I have to dig that out of there. But yeah, you just go over the top layer, and if all this little stuff comes out of there, then it'll be fine to reprime over that. But what we got to worry about is what all this stuff underneath here. Make sure that isn't, you know, rust or cracking or anything with that. So that's why I'll just go over this the whole car like that, really. But we're just kind of working this. I'll dig this out so we can put a little Bondo there, a little Bondo here, and a little bit at the top. So let me at the front, let me sand this a little bit more, and I'll be back. Okay, guys, see all this area here? That's good enough to prime and paint over. This little spot putty area, I thought, a little bit more than that. Some Bondo here. We're going to use a grinder and grind that out. Some Bondo down here. And then a door dang right there. I said I would have assumed they would have fixed all that before they painted it, but like I said, it's, I don't know, must have had it sitting on the street or something. Anyway, we'll take the grinder here and grind all this old Bondo out here. Well, there ain't much. It ain't much. They just put a little skim. That's more of a yellow. That's more of a spot putty. Evercoat. Yeah. Already tell from here, that's all Bondo from there. That's gonna have to come out. Sounds like metal, but it's, we gotta take out the old Bondo and put in new Bondo. Anyway, let me grind that out. We'll mix up some Bondo here in a little bit and get some of this going. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys. Got this. It was out up here. I had to tap that around there a little bit here. So it's ready for a skim body filler. This had been all mangled up. I got holes all over here where they're pulling it. If you remember, these doors used to be blue, the inside anyway. She may have been wiped out, and that's one reason they replaced the door on this side. Had to figure out why on the other side, but anyway, it'll take a few skims there. So I'll mix up some Bondo for that, and that. We'll get some skim going on there. It's going to take 2 or 3 swipes there to get it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys, got the infamous pizza box. We're going to mix all this up, and it's pretty hot out, so I gotta go fast. It's gonna dry pretty quick. Okay, so we just want to put a coat on here. This Bondo is real runny because of the heat, I guess. And it's old. It was just the bottom of the last gallon I got. That's sitting around for a month or something. Anyway, we'll get that going. I'll get this. Try not to make a big mess, but yeah, this was Bondo all the way into this here, so we gonna build up this dog leg. I wish it was a little bit more thicker, but okay. Mosquitoes are coming out. Gotta get this little dent there fixed first. We'll flatten that out and then skim the whole thing. As long as we can get most of that. Okay. Okay, we'll let that dry for a little bit and I'll come back with a cheese grater and we'll break that down a little bit and then we'll skim it again. So I'll be back. Okay guys, use these body files, call them cheese graters. So what you want to do is do this and break them down. Save you a lot of sanding. Yeah, this, what you do is sand that down flat and then one more skim to fill in all the gouges and pinholes and stuff like that. A little bit more difficult doing it with all this stuff on there, but like I said, I don't feel like taking all that stuff off, painting it separately and then putting it all back on, and after it's painted. This is more of a quick Mako type paint, body and paint work instead of, well, Mako wouldn't do this good of a job on the Bondo. They'd just smooth that old Bondo out and glaze over it. It'd be back pretty quick. You know, realistically, this should last another 20 years. Or, you know, it should last forever, really, but something happened to it. Got smacked with the door. Started cracking. And this dent, I think they pulled out too far. The high spot there, but that's all right. And use this to form your dog leg in there. So you can see the low spot there. Low spots. But yeah, you can buzz over it with DA with the 80 grit. Buzz over it real quick and then skim it again. That's what I'll be doing here. Let's see if this filled in. see it's a little low there, but we're going to be skimming this whole area here. So yeah, we mix up some more Bondo, put on there. I won't show you that, I just showed you. But yeah, we'll just be skimming it. Go over it with the 80 grit, the DA right there. Flatten it out. And then the last coat, just a real skim coat. And then that's when we'll block it out and make sure it's completely flat, completely straight before we prime it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Call it a day. Nikki's ready to go in. I think most of this is the final coat. If not, I'll block it out with one little skim coat, but 90% of the dents are done. We've got some more putty and stuff in here. Nothing too bad. A little putty there. I took one piece of, this is one piece of 180 grit with my DA, and it sanded. This is not, that was on top, this was underneath. The first base coat come right off. So this is like primer and another coat. It's been painted a couple of times too, so anyway, I think just one more 180 over it, and that hood's done. Other than a few little, I think this edge here is a little bit, you know, right in here. We have to put some fiberglass or something. Then this little corner, but I mean, other than that, pretty much done. Okay, so I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll slick this out and prime the side of it. Anyway, at least get that done tomorrow. See if we can get the rest sanded. 100% chance of rain tomorrow, but who knows. It was kind of overcast today a little bit, and then it rained lightly for 10 minutes, and then that was it. But I'm kind of worried about this. I don't want the bare metal to get rained on, but it'll be all right. So we'll see what we can get done tomorrow. I started cleaning out the shop a little bit, but there's still more. I put away a lot of stuff. Put away all my tools, and then all of a sudden I got more. But anyway, yeah, eventually that's where we're going to paint it right here. So I have to get this area cleaned out anyway pretty soon. So if it does rain, we can bring it inside. Okay, well, see you tomorrow. Okay guys, next day. It rained, but it's not too bad. It's a little bit of rusty haze going on, but it'll sand off. Okay, so we're just going to take a DA with some 80 grit. Oh, she is a little bit wet there. And we're just going to go over these Bondo spots. You don't want to go too deep, because we're going to straighten it out by blocking it, not with the DA. So basically just basically we're just going to knock her down, and then we're going to take a block and block it. So let me knock down these areas. May need a little bit more Bondo in some spots, but we'll do some blocking. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, use DA paper on a block, and just I'm going to block it out like this. That's what you want to do, and just, you know, like that. Make sure it's flat, and same with the bottom. and I'll probably just need a little skim for little areas, especially over here. A little bit right in there is low spots, but not bad at all, just a little skim after I... Okay, so let me block down these 3 areas and I'll be back. Alright guys, just spent about an hour or so blocking it out. Came out really nice. Just need a little bit of, this is the point you would use spot putty, but I'm cheap. I don't like buying extra stuff, so just gonna use Bondo. A little bit of Bondo in these little pinholes, little bit there, little bit there, and then just block it out with 80, and then we're gonna block it out with 180, and then we're gonna go over and feather everything with 180, and then be ready to prime. I don't think I'm gonna, what I want to do is just at least get the bondoed areas in primer right now. I'm kind of sanding it like I'll do the whole side, but I don't want to take a chance on more rain. It's 20 to 40% chance in the next few days, so I really like to prime the areas before the end of the day, but couldn't do that yesterday. Okay, block this out. There's a little piece of sandpaper there and got that area. So we just need a little bit of Bondo there. That's about it. Oh, there's a ding right here. It puts a little bit of Bondo there. Somebody smacked the door into something. Okay. This area here is good, but we got to put a little Bondo. I know right there for sure. Probably a little bit on here where the old Bondo was. You can see there's had some Bondo here too on that door. Yeah, there's no blue on there, so I think they must have stripped that door down to the metal. And just a little skim, cover up these little areas. Probably a skim over here too. And then, like I said, I'll come back and we'll DA all this down smooth with 180. And I'll be ready to prime. So I'll be back. Hi, Nikki. How's Nikki doing? You doing good? You're such a good girl. You're such a good girl. Okay, guys. I went ahead and put a little Bondo in those spots, sanded them down, blocked it out with 180, and then took a DA with 180 grit and did around them areas. Didn't do the whole door, just kind of in there, because I don't know, it looks like it's gonna rain. I'd like to at least get this in primer right now. I still got a few hours of daylight, well, about an hour and a half, and I'll just, if it don't rain, I'll just sand the rest of this car, kind of like this I did with 180. Need to go over that one more time. Okay, so what I buy is rolls of 80 grit, 180 grit for DA, 30 something bucks on eBay for a roll of 100. The primer, I kind of like this speed coat. I got a little bit left and I bought another gallon. Oh, it is a 2-part, got the activator. I forget what it's called now. Not epoxy, but it doesn't say on there, does it? Anyway, I don't know, 80 bucks I think, 80 or 100, which, you know, about going rate for primer. So that's what we'll be using. That I wanted to go over these seats here. I forgot to mention. Okay, these seat covers are not just slip-on. You don't just slip them on, slip them off. They're upholstery. They got to be upholstered on there. If you haven't, it's a long process, tedious process, and I did it in the white 78 El Camino. Had the leather looking bucket seats, and I bought the kit like that, and reupholstered them. Although that kit was, I don't know, 300 and something, 370 or something. Not bad compared to, you can't get them. They're $500, $600, $700, $800 for Camaros. I don't know why. But yeah, you got to take all this old stuff off, all the hog rings that hold it on, put them on. So for me to put those red covers on here and then decide later I'm going to put black on there, that's way too much work to be redoing stuff 2 or 3 times. So it's just going to stay like this for now till I decide later on what to do with it. If nobody buys it as is, don't even know if I'll put it up for sale. Probably not. But anyway, I thought I'd mention that because I forgot to mention that before. So it's not like, well, just put them on, then if you change your mind, take them off. No, we don't do DD Speed Shop type stuff here where we build the car, take it apart, build it again, sell it, all that stupid stuff. It's a waste of time for me. He gets paid for big bucks on YouTube to keep doing stuff over and over and over again. I don't. I got to do it. Decide the first time around on this, because that's not what we're not swapping engines and drivetrains to different cars and robbing parts off other cars to get something finished on a deadline. Well, we don't do anything like that here. So yeah, that's out of the question. If anybody was thinking that, just put them covers on there. And okay, so I just thought I'd mention that. Okay, let me just gonna probably mask up from here, put a little masking tape and some paper there, and I'll get some primer, and we'll just primer these bare metal and Bondo areas, because these areas will have to be we'll put some black guide coat on there, and then they'll have to be blocked out again and reprimed. Some of this stuff, well, yeah, I'll probably block and reprime all this stuff too. We're not the hood though, probably not the bottom, but we'll see. Okay, so I'll be back a little bit. Okay guys, got my cheap $10 Harbor Freight gun. Just spraying a little primer on here, but the thinner had evaporated out of it, so it probably needs to be taken apart and cleaned, which I don't do, but it's not spraying very good. Anyway. Anyway, I'm going to put a couple of good coats on there. Yeah, this jam needs to be primed in there anyway. That's why I don't have the jams masked off. Anyway. Anyway, I'll put 2 or 3 good coats on there, and I'll be back. Okay guys, this is about the only major thing wrong with the hood. See this? I don't know what happened, but we're going to sand that down with some 80 grit. Mix up some Bondo glass, which is, I'll show you here. Hopefully it's still good. Man, it's almost a full can, this Bondo glass. Mix up just a little bit of that. Spread it in there, sand it down smooth. Round this off just a little bit. See, it's kind of in here too. See right here? So Anyway, we need to smooth that out. Like I said, the rest of it's pretty good, but I'll go over and check it real good. Yeah, maybe a little bit right in there. Okay, and then this part where, I don't know what the deal is. A little thing cut out there, I guess for a wiper, like I said, but we'll sand that and smooth that out a little bit too. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, guys. Yeah, some of it just all started breaking apart and crumbling, so I don't know what happened there. Just started deteriorating for some reason. Anyway, you know, pack it on like that, and we'll sand and block it out later. Just a little bit right here. Oh, I didn't show you, that's what I primed. Got about 3 good coats on it. We'll put some guide coat on it here in a minute. Okay, let me finish this and I'll be back. Okay guys, I just got some cheap black spray paint. And basically, we're just gonna do it on the Bondo spots. Tomorrow, most likely we'll just come out here and block that out. Do it over here. Now if there's any black left, that means there's, you know, either low spots or pinholes, and you can fill them in and block them out and then do your final prime. But I don't expect it to be any of that, so block it out, prime it, and then just scuff and shoot after that. Okay, I'm gonna just start sand this one more time with the DA. I got some primer splatter on there from the gun. And the gun there, you have it on and put your finger over the deal and keep spraying it out, and it finally, halfway through what I had left, it started spraying better. So it just needs to be cleaned. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna sand this 180, maybe start on the front end here. Stuff you can't get to the DA, you got to do it by hand, like these little areas here. It's just going to be a little time consuming doing that, but let me go over it with the DA sander. I'll be back. Okay guys, this they either got a new cover on here or they stripped it. Pretty sure they just had a new cover because it's just sanding off real easy. Yeah, pretty sure that must have been a new cover. Anyway, those little cracks like that came out. Yeah, so that's good. There isn't 10 layers of paint on it. See if we can get out all these little cracks. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, next day. We're gonna block out these areas here in a minute. So I was just sanding this down. Yeah, it's been skimmed. There's some remnants of the blue there. There's a couple of little Bondo cracks. So I just kind of feathered that out. And then it's just been skimmed with some body filler. We're not gonna do really anything with that. You can see some Bondo here. It's probably was hammered with door dings and they just skimmed it all, and Bondo here. And this door here, well, this fender here must have been replaced too, because it's just got one coat like the front. One coat of paint, black primer, and then the paint. There's a ding. There are two dings. Well, anyway, one ding there. Then this same way, this was a used blue door, and it looks like they stripped her down and skimmed it, and it had broken apart here and was starting to rust and stuff, so I just took that Bondo out. Same with this little area. Rest of it probably be okay. Well, there's some little stuff there. Basically, we're just going to put some filler over top these, straighten them out, and prime everything once we get it sanded down more. But anyway, yeah, let me get a block, and we'll block down these areas here in a little bit. I got some fiberglass on here, but I need a little bit of body filler just to fill in the little spots, but that whole side's fixed. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got a little body filler on those little spots there. So we're gonna block all this area out. It's in the guide coat. And show you a little bit of it, because I gotta use two hands, and yeah, you just up and down like that, and it's not sanding very good, because I was gonna say it was a little waterlogged, but it'd been raining. But yeah, you got to keep taking the sandpaper and hitting it, getting the dust out of it, and anyway, just keep going like that while the black's out. I'll be back. Okay guys, got it all blocked down, this whole area here. Okay, that's all you got to do, is just keep blocking till all the black's gone. Go ahead and fix these, sand these Bondo spots down on both sides and get it all ready to prime, and then we'll just sand this whole side and prime it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got all this side ready to prime. It'll be final primer on the fender and the quarter panel. Just this door here, I'm going to re-block top half of it and re-prime it. But basically it'll be final primer for the rest of it. I put a little bit of used special polyester primer around that fiberglass. If you use regular fiberglass, it'll most likely bubble up, so you got to use that. And use regular primer over top of the paint. Just that gel coat that's exposed, you got to use. Yeah, I'm just working on this side next. A few little Bondo spots, and a lot of sanding, and we'll have that side done, and we'll work on the rest of it later. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I got this side in primer. I need to put one more coat halfway, and then, like I said, I'll just have to sand and reprime that door. Fixing to prime the hood, and that'll be done. And this is the only body work, just these few little dings there and the front of the fender. I don't think there's any on the quarter or anywhere else, but there might be. We just haven't got that far. It's the end of the day. I got to get it in primer. So anyway, we're just going to prime the top of that door and that fender, and that'll be it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay guys, I think we'll end the video on that. I know this one's kind of long, probably the longest one I've done, but I wanted to get all the body work done in one video and go over, I know, a lot of rambling at the beginning. It's pretty much all the body work except for that little spot on the bumper. We'll have to fill in this right here with some JB weld too. Other than that, just sand these top surfaces, prime them, and I think that's about it. Okay, I'm ahead. So next video we'll do all that and paint it. So one video of body work, one video of painting it. Yeah, we're not going to get to a test drive. I kind of got it apart a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take off the grill and those signal lights, marker lights. They're going to be cleared anyway. Grill and the marker lights. And I think that's probably about it. The antenna maybe. So yeah, we'll have to wait till after it's painted and everything and take it for a test drive. It should be all right other than the front end alignment, but okay, well, I'm ahead on a few videos. You guys haven't seen it, but they're not out yet, but you've already seen them, the 2 videos on the van. And yeah, right today, Puddin put out a video. He just bought a van like this too from, well, I think his is a shorty. It's got some windows and a door. Bought it from a junkyard. Like to know what he paid for it. Kept saying he got a good deal, but he a little secretive on his prices on what he pays for stuff. But oh well, that's what this channel. No secrets here. 800 bucks I paid for it on Marketplace. Okay, yeah, we kind of got the same taste in cars, but we build them different. You know, he's going to slam that van. You know, he's going to slam that van to the ground, and I think he said he's going to airbag it or whatever. Same with that. So I buy the Nomad over here wagon, and he buys that 61 or whatever it was. Wagon does it. Then I bought the Silverado, and he got that Silverado and shortened the bed and lowered it. And then the van, there was something else too. What else did it? Oh, I can't think of it now. I think there was another car we bought. But anyway, he'll probably buy a Camaro like this next. I don't know, the wagon, the Silverado, the van. I thought there was one more that was the same, but anyway. Okay guys, that'll be it. Subscribe if you haven't. Just a couple videos left on this, painting it and then putting it together, test driving it, go over what it costs to build and all that stuff, which I always do too. Always right at the end, I go over every penny I got in a car, just so you all know what it takes to build one cheaply, and we'll go over what I think it's worth. Well, I kind of already did, but yeah, you'll see. We'll let you decide after it's all painted and striped and decaled and emblems and all that stuff. It's gonna look sharp, other than the seats. So yeah, I always do that on every build. So yeah, like, comment, share, and all that stuff, and we'll see y'all next video. Thanks everybody for watching.